Alright, so let's deal with looks here really quickly. If you click on the looks category, we have several different options here. You can make your character, your sprite, say something. So this one says hello for 2 seconds and then it'll go away. This one will cause it to say hello and for it to just stay there. So there it is, hello, it's there until you stop the script. Then it goes away. Besides saying hello, you can have thinking bubbles as well. So by clicking that, it will do the thinking bubble for 2 seconds. You can change it to be shorter. There, 0.5. So it's there really quick. You also have this good tool for show and hide. So when you want to show a sprite or hide a sprite so it disappears, you can use these commands. So for example, we can go back to our motions and we can say, okay, I want it to move 50 steps. Well, first I want it to show, I want it to move 50 steps, and let's set bounce off of edges, and then I want it to hide. But before it hides, I want it to wait a second. Okay. So if I set that, it waits a second and then hides. I click it again, it's going to move 50 and then hide. Click it again, move 50 and then hide. Click it again, move 50 and then hide. 50 and then hide. Alright, if I wanted to, I could, make that go forever. Until I hit the stop. Alright, so that can be useful. Another tool that's really useful is switch costumes. Now, if you go up here in the costumes, it shows you what options that you have. You have this kind of sprite or this kind of sprite. Now, if you watch carefully, some of these can almost look like certain actions, like walking. And that's useful for animations and stories and games that you create. So you can grab a costume here, and if you want to set it to a specific costume, costume 1, costume 2, it doesn't matter. I'm actually going to add this to our reset because we're going to be messing with the costumes. So that way, anytime we hit the spacebar, it will go back to this specific costume. So we can do that. If I click this, it'll go to this costume here. If I hit the spacebar, it will go to 0, 0, 0.90, and then go back to costume 1. I can also hit next costume. This is good because that causes you to be able to switch back and forth. Every time you click it, it's going to go to the next one. So you can do something like move 10 steps, go to the next costume, wait, you probably don't want to wait a second, wait 0.4, and then just kind of repeat that forever, and then kind of gives you a walking motion. Alright, you can also switch backgrounds just like costumes. So if you had a different background that you wanted to change it to, you could add that in there. You can also change color effects. By clicking it, you can change colors. So if you want every step that the character took, if you wanted to change colors, you can have that happen. Now, as you notice, if I hit spacebar, the color stays the same. So if you're going to be messing with color, you might want to add this to your reset code as well. Set color effect back to 0 to its natural color, so that it doesn't get messed up anymore. Alright, and then down here we're going to skip down to changing size. So every time you hit this, the size is going to increase by 10. Now you can make that more or less. If you put a negative number in there, it will decrease it. So let's say I wanted to make him walk, and then every time he walks, I wanted him to we could do that, but keep in mind that it's only going to do what we asked it to do. So if I said increase by 10, well, let's do it more. Increase by 20, and then I'm going to make it do it forever. If I click on this, every time he takes a step, which you see him slowly moving, he's just going to keep growing, right, until we tell him to stop. And I haven't put any code in here for him to stop, so he's just gonna keep going, which in some ways is not helpful. So when we want to reset the size, we can get this set size to blank, and I want to set it to 100. If I click on that, it'll set them back down to normal. So I'm going to add this to our reset code. It all depends on what you're going to be messing with. This reset code just clears everything out so that he is back to normal whenever you hit the spacebar. With the size change, you can also set it to 20%, so it makes them really small, or you can set them to 200%, and it makes them rather large. Alright, so with that in mind, I'm going to hit spacebar reset. I have a little bit of challenge for you using the things that we've outlined here in this tutorial: motions, looks, events, spacebar clicking, things like that, with some of the control options that we've gone over: wait, repeat, forever, those stuff that you'll be using. See if you can't figure out how I created this little cat game. Okay, I'm going to hit a button. And if you notice, my cat moves wherever my mouse goes. Cat chasing the mouse. So here he goes. He's got to try to get the ball. And the ball is disappearing, reappearing, and then growing in size and disappearing. It's just a fun little game that I put together in a minute. You can try to figure out if you can see how I did it, but have fun with that. Keep learning and keep creating.